I was a very quiet kid until I was probably about 8. I barely spoke much. I would spend a lot of time observing people and deciding if I even wanted to engage with a conversation with them. And most of the time as a kid, that answer was no, I do not want to engage in any conversation at all, ever. Let's not do that. Also, as a kid, I was what I would like to say pretty dumb in the sense of what we were getting tested on. Academically, I was terrible and I just couldn't seem to learn and be as fast as other kids in the room. I could just never keep up, and because of that, and I think obviously home life too, my self-esteem was in the dumps, man. The confidence I had was crud. So I believed that I'd never amount to anything. I believed that I couldn't do anything. And so I was just good for nothing. Of course, now looking back, I have to give myself credit in a lot of places that I definitely didn't give myself credit before. And one thing that I have realized is that I was always kind of appointed this leadership role or to look after everyone else. And maybe it was my own doing, not that I even really noticed it, but I always felt that maybe, I didn't always feel it back then, but now when I look back, this is how I feel. I always felt that people may have looked a bit more towards me or looked up to me in a certain way, and I never asserted that role of like, okay, yeah, you can come up to me for help and leadership and so on and so forth. And I kind of just sat there and was like, oh man, like, I'm a heap of shit, don't follow me. And this has happened many, many times in my life where I think people look to me for guidance, and I kind of don't know how to lead. It's a very hard thing to do, and it's a very scary thing to do, because when you lead people, you are solely responsible for a lot of the things they do, say, and think, whatever, right? And so you need to make sure that you are pretty on point when you lead. You can't be a bad leader. That's like, it's terrible to be a bad leader. You can be a lot of bad things, but being a bad leader just means you probably should not lead. And that is, I think, what I was always scared about inside, leading someone and then leading them down the wrong road, or leading them into things that I shouldn't do, or just, just being a bad leader. So, as I talked about yesterday, I've got a few books that I really want to read, and they are all to do with being a leader, because I've lived enough of my life to understand that at one point, I will need to be a good leader to do what I want to do and to inspire others. I've lived enough of my life to understand that going forward in my life, I will be looked up to as someone that needs to lead. And I've come to terms with that, and now I'm coming to terms of the confidence into leading, right? So I don't have the confidence to lead because I don't know how. But I know when I learn how to lead, I will have confidence. Only when I learn, only when I understand, will I have confidence to lead. I know that to achieve what I want to achieve and do the things I want to do, I will need to lead at one point in my life. And if I don't think I'll be able to achieve what I want to achieve. Again, as I said yesterday, I really want to take down notes and really understand what I'm reading, have a conversation with the person that is talking in these books. And again, this is very, very unfamiliar to me, because I've always felt like I've been put in that position, but I've never said yes to that position before. And so this will be the first time of acknowledging something of myself and going, do you know what? I can do that. I just need to learn how to have the confidence I need to learn. This is a skill that I really didn't think I'd be talking about too much this year, or really even be interested in. But the more I come across the subject and I ponder it in my mind just a little bit, I go, I should probably start to get to work on that. So yeah, the books I'll be reading is I really want to read. Firstly, is Start with the Why. Right, I really want to understand how to explain and sort of inspire other people in the way my mind works, to sort of portray what I have here to them, to make them understand why. Right? Primal leadership. From my understanding, again, I've not read any of these books yet. From my understanding, it talks about the having emotional intelligence, and connecting with the people that you're leading. And I've always felt like this is really important. So this is very much playing into my strength there. And then two more, which I think will come a little later in my journey, but I definitely want to read them still. One is Leaders Eat Last, which is, I believe, about dangers, the outside and the inside dangers, but making sure that your organization, your team, feels safe within that team to do efficient work, but also just to work together without the dangers, right, of everything that's within it. And try to eliminate as many dangers as possible so that they can then focus on the outside dangers. I say dangers, it's just the way that the book was explained to me, but I think it does make sense. And then Culture Code, which is obviously about work culture. I feel like this is very important. I think it can very much make or break a place. I've been in places where the culture is trash, and I've been in workplaces that the workplace is amazing and people have been there for years and years and years, and they don't want to leave because it doesn't feel like work anymore. It just feels like you're coming to work but with your family. The lesson for you today, kids, is understand that you can do anything you want. Anything you want, even if you're terrible at it. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're so behind compared to your peers. If you're the most worst thing at one particular thing, but you want to do it so much, trust me, you sit down, you put in the time, you put in the work, yeah, the blood, sweat and tears, and I promise you, years and years and years and years, you will be amazing at that thing, even if you started off terrible. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.